Ladies and gentlemen,
What you gonna do, brother?
oh yeah!
Woo! What? What? If you smell what the rock. You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Welcome to another edition of Around the Turnbuckle. My name is the Big Alboski. His name is Professor Keith. And down below us is Nicky Mariano, independent wrestler, a.k.a., to some of his fans, or all of his fans, I hope, Conan Lycan. What's up, Nick?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
We're doing. Keith, how you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, doing well. Bit of a late night last night, but I'll survive.
I am currently not hungover, which is a good thing. It's 6 o'clock.
But earlier.
Okay, no. So we're off and running, man. The first question I got for you, and all you guys are chiming in. Throw questions at the man, right? Watching live, all you guys watching live, throw questions at him. We will randomly select, decent questions. Keep it nice, guys. Keep it nice. We've been having some nasty ones lately, Keith. Yeah, but keep it friendly, keep it good. We want to have a positive time. We want to entertain you guys for an hour. We want you to get to know this guy right here. So listen, this guy wrestles out in Iowa. Currently is in New York at the moment, but lives out in Iowa, and he was trained by none other than WWE Superstar SETH Rollins. So my first question to you, man, is how did you meet and get involved with SETH Rollins?
Well, I was playing college football, and I got into my junior year, and one of my best friends played football at the University of Iowa. His fullback on his team, when he was done playing football, went to Black and Brave. So I ended up calling him, asking him how it was, and then within an hour, I sent an email, got a reply, and I got accepted and moved out to Iowa and never looked back. So, yeah, man.
That's interesting because usually when you hear about somebody that's a college athlete, I mean, we hear about a lot of wrestlers that are college athletes, usually football, sometimes basketball. You hear about guys that make it to the NFL, and usually it's, I was doing this, then I blew out a knee, or I got hurt in some way, and then I decided wrestling was the backup. And in your case, you sit there and go, no, I'm perfectly healthy. I could keep doing this, but this isn't my passion. This isn't what I want to do. Wrestling is my passion. I'm going to go choose to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made a decision. I just remember just waking up one day, and my hunger for wrestling is just never.
We got a colleague here, Prince Shango, who wrestles out here in PA.
Oh, okay. Says
what's up. He's good friends with JT Funk as well. Well, good friends, better enemies, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just did a little angle with him on the show.
What's up, Matt? Keith, I no longer want you to use the words angle or gimmick on this show ever again. These guys are true to life, baby. All right. So anyway,
you're not the boss of me.
I know. So anyway, how did you when you were a kid? Where did the love come from? Where did the passion for this sport come from? Where did who were your influences? Who did you watch?
I was 3 years old when my mom put me in front of the TV and I'm watching Raw is War, and I was just obsessed, since my earliest memory, just obsessed. And I'd watch Jeff Hardy and The Rock and Stone Cold, all those main guys back then. It was so crazy. And I remember just getting a trampoline when I was a little kid, and I'd bug all my friends to go on there and wrestle with me, and we would try to film stuff. And yeah, we went crazy with it, but I just never grew out of it. I stayed consistently all the way through. And people usually drop off at middle school or high school, but no, I was obsessed. And then it went all the way through college, like I said. And yeah, man, it's always been my number one love. I've just loved it since my earliest memories.
So, who was your guy? Who did you root for? Who was your favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler when I was a little kid was definitely Jeff Hardy. Yeah, he was just the man to me. I don't know why. Like, it could have been just the crazy hair or stockings on his arms, like everything like that. He was just amazing, just like high flying. Like back then, like all that stuff was like never really seen like as regular as it is now with like Ricochet and everybody. But like Jeff Hardy was definitely my guy. I was a big Rock fan. Loved the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you who my influences were because I'm 44 and you're not, but
Yeah.
you know, because I'll start naming guys like Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper and Macho Man Randy Savage, and you know what I mean. But anyway,
Yeah.
All right. So, do you know this guy, the Iron Voice? I'm here too. What's up?
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Courtney. Hi, everyone. Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
Greg Thundercat from Alabama. He's a wrestler too. I'm here too. What's up, guys? What's up, Greg?
It was our guest last week.
Thanks for checking in. Anybody watching live? Throw some questions our way. Keith, you got a question for him now?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's really cool that you're out there in Iowa. You went to Iowa to train. Iowa has just tons of wrestling history. You know, the NWA started in Iowa. You have the Thez Tragos Wrestling Museum out there, which is, you know, depending on who you are, because that's one of the things that's kind of a thing about wrestling is there's like 15,000 halls of fame. There's not really one set one, but Thez Tragos is one of the ones when people talk about legitimate wrestling hall of fames or museums. That's always a good one.
Yeah.
And obviously you're out there with Seth, and I think our fans would like to know, because you said you're out there, you help at the school, you're still in contact and everything. How are Seth and Becky doing? How is Becky doing especially? I mean, fans haven't seen her. Is she doing well? I don't want to get too personal, but just I think people would appreciate knowing she's doing well and that everything's going good, correct?
Yeah. Becky and I call it Seth Colby. Yeah, they're doing great. Colby's got his own coffee shop right next to the wrestling school, so
nice.
We'll be down there just having breakfast in the morning before they hit their CrossFit, because they're big CrossFit guys. But
right.
Yeah, Becky's doing great and everything like that. The baby is doing great. So yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
So yeah, so Keith and I have seen a lot of the highlights you sent us, right? And we were shocked to find out you've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
I and you tell me that you've already been in like a, you know, have tried outs for WWE and
yeah, before the show, doing extra work. Yep.
And these guys are saying to you like they had no idea, they had no clue you've only been doing this for that short of time.
Yeah, at the time it was like I was like 3 months in, so I was like panicking because like I went to do the extra work or whatever, but me being the way that I look and the size that I am and everything like that, they're like, yeah, you're very limited unless you got to like break up like a Brock Lesnar thing. They're like you're not going to play a doctor or anything like that. They're like, so just sit back and enjoy the experience. And then they had time to have the tryout matches before SmackDown, so I was like, okay, this is very nerve wracking right now with definitely like Triple H and all those guys. So I went out and I did what I could do and everything like that. And I did pretty well for myself, but I'm just trying to just get better at this thing. It's super hard wrestling. There's so much that goes into it, but I love it. And like, I don't know. I think I have an advantage from playing Division I sport, football, and playing sports my whole entire life, because coming in athletically, it's second nature to me. But it's the when and why, the psychology of wrestling and all that I have to pick up on more. But work in progress for everyone.
Robert Everett, shout out to Robert. What's up, Robert? What's your favorite match that you've wrestled in so far?
Favorite match
of yours?
I had a ladder match that was probably the funnest match I've ever been in, but easiest working. Like the fun, like easiest person I've ever worked is probably, his name is Travis Titan.
Okay.
He's a Black and Brave guy himself. I actually just wrestled him like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, that stuff should be coming out shortly. But no, he was great. So easy to work with, and it was a good time. It was a learning experience. He's a high level guy, and I'm sure the world's going to be seeing him soon. So yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a question from that Prince Shango who's back. He's like, "Where's my shirt, Al?" What he's talking about is right here. We have the brand new Around the Turnbuckle T-shirt.
Yeah.
And this shirt I'm holding in my hand is actually yours, Prince Shango. This is the one is for you. Got it? Yeah, we have Around the Turnbuckle T-shirts now, and the shirt that I'm wearing is Cut the Shit B.
Yeah.
And that one's for TJ Spitter, who asks you, what would your ultimate matchup be, tag or solo?
Like with someone in the Indies?
Yeah, because we got a dream match scenario later.
Yeah, let's bring that up.
Honestly,
Trying to rush us,
my ultimate match would be a singles match, and I would face my best friend in wrestling, and he goes by the name of Benjamin Carter. He's my roommate. He's my best friend. He's the first friend I had in wrestling when I went off to pursue this dream. And yeah, he's amazing. He was just on AEW, and he's got some stuff going on in the works right now with some companies. So yeah, I would love to just get a singles match with him one more time before he's on your TVs. So yeah, it'd be great.
You see him going places.
Oh yeah, man. He is special.
Yeah, you said he was already on AEW Dark, right?
Yeah, he did great.
So you and I have a mutual friend named JT Funk, and he's conspicuous by his absence because he's usually commenting by now.
Yeah.
But I think, and it just kind of hit me like lightning that he's actually in Puerto Rico this weekend. I think he's vacationing down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Might even be wrestling. Somebody told me he might even be wrestling down there.
Okay.
I don't know that for a fact, but that's why he isn't like. So Conan Lycan versus Shango, falls count anywhere, asking for another friend. If you don't know or have seen Prince Shango's work, I suggest you check it out on YouTube. He is a character.
Yeah.
He is a character. I don't know if have you ever seen him? Have you heard of him?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
I think he's more local to our area.
Yeah, he's a mysterious, doesn't talk, his actions show it in the ring. He's been on the show. He is something to behold. I just gotta say. TJ Indy, right, got it. Teresa, double the price for Shango. Yes. Yeah, he has to pay double for his shirt, correct.
And then when he knocks you out, I'm gonna laugh.
JT is in Puerto Rico. That is correct.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Alan forgot the ankle monitor failed.
All right, man. So switching you, what? I forgot what?
I said you forgot that he's in Puerto Rico. The tracking device.
Oh no, I wasn't sure if he still was. I knew he was. I wasn't sure if he still was because he's normally on by now. But anyway, switching gears here. Like, how do you feel? You, who's a rising star, and you're just starting to you get your feet wet. You've been doing it for a year now, and you're excited, and you know what I mean. How do you feel about the current WWE product? The fact that the pandemic kind of has it, a lot of these cinematic matches and things like that. How do you feel as a fan?
I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of hard to follow a lot of the storylines going on with like everything the way that it is and all that stuff. Like there's nothing's ever going to be compared to like the crowd reaction and stuff like that. So it's hard with like the screens and the cinematic things. Like it's cool to get those things every now and then, but yeah, I don't know. It's been tough, but like all the guys that I'm really like into and everything, like my trainer and everything like that, I've been paying attention to everything. But yeah, it's definitely been tough. I really can't wait for all this COVID stuff to be over so we get some crowds back because that's
man, that's what I miss. I mean, that's what I miss most of all. I miss tuning into Raw or SmackDown where you have fans all over the world, all over the country, and sometimes all over the world, Canada and all, wherever they go. I really miss that aspect of it, despite the fact that the past couple years of really the mainstream WWE hasn't been my favorite to watch. But I think the pandemic really kind of made things go, where they had to cut the roster in half and they had to do a lot of, their hands are kind of tied in a lot of things that they do. And I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to badmouth WWE. But it's, there's just, there's a lot of circumstances. The world's a crazy place right now. And like you said before about getting booked here and there and everywhere, even out in Iowa and stuff like that, it's getting colder. You know, that you can't do, there's only too many outdoor shows you can do. Winter's coming, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been tough with all the COVID stuff. Like the wrestling business is crazy because everyone's trying to make it work. All these different companies and all that stuff, and like everyone is doing what they can. But it's going to be real interesting to see what happens. Like I don't know. I'm scared that everything might get shut down for the winter unless you're in a southern state. But yeah, I mean it's going to be tough unless all this COVID stuff gets like done with soon.
So Chrissy wants to know, maybe I missed it, but where did Conan get his name?
So everyone says that I look like Jason Momoa, the guy that plays Aquaman. And
I wasn't going to say it, but Keith was.
I can see it.
Yeah. I get that all the time. And I really liked when he played Conan the Barbarian. And
Right.
one of my good friends like came up with it. And I'm a big like wolf guy, but there's a lot of wolves in the indies and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I like the movie like Underworld and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, Lycan. So then I just put it together like Conan Lycan. And yeah, that's where I got it from. Jason Momoa.
I love it. TJ Spitter, whose shirt I'm wearing, Spitting with Spitter, says, as an athlete, where are the differences in training from football and wrestling, and what kind of toll has it taken on your body?
Honestly, I haven't really changed my lifting or training different. Like I haven't changed it. Like I lift heavy. I still do bench, squat, all that stuff. But training in the ring, you got to get that in to stay in ring shape and all that stuff because that's just different. No matter how much cardio you do, it's like you got to be in the ring at all times. So like when I'm at Black and Brave out in Iowa or whatever, we'll probably like train and do our weights in the morning and all that stuff, and then we go back and just go in the ring and do a bunch of spots or whatever. And I mean, it hasn't really taken like a huge toll on my body because, like I said, I came from football and I was hitting since I was 5 years old, and bumping is. A lot of people don't like bumping. I enjoy bumping. It does not bother me in the slightest bit. So yeah, it's been great. Knock on wood so far. Like my body's fine. But yeah.
So how far up in football did you get before you stopped and turned to wrestling?
So I played football since I was 5. I played all the way through high school and everything like that. I did really well. Got all state. I played linebacker. Then when I had some sickness that happened that put me in the hospital where I ended up losing some scholarships. So I had to go play junior college.
Okay.
Once I went and played junior college, did really well. And then I ended up getting into UAlbany to play football at UAlbany. So once I finally made it and I was playing Division I football where I wanted to play Division I coming from my family is a ton of athletes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just woke up one day and I was like, I don't want to waste any more time doing this because I already had 2 best friends that played in the NFL and they didn't enjoy it. And I was just like, I need to go and follow like my true passion and like just put more time into wrestling and everything like that. So that's when I just made the move. So yeah.
And when you talk about that, I mean, I want to point out to people, that's really what you're afraid of in terms of not having shows. It's not about money. It's not about getting paid. It's about not getting the repetition,
Right.
not being able to keep and improve the skills, and getting out of that ring shape like you talk about. Because I think one of the things people don't understand is they kind of understand the concept of bumping, but they don't understand, like, even just running off the ropes, you have to develop a callus. You have to hit it just right, and you have to continue to be in that situation. Because I've met wrestlers at Q&As and stuff, and they'll be asked about, well, what are some of the hardest things you ever did? And a lot of them will say, believe it or not, when I hit the ropes for the first time, because I didn't know how to do it, and I hit it wrong, and I messed up a muscle, or I took too much of it on my kidney, and I was peeing blood for a couple of days. So, I mean, everything you do in the ring, even the stuff that, because you guys do it all the time, you make it look completely easy and effortless. It's not. It hurts, and you have to keep doing it, or it's going to become something that just hurts all the more and holds you back.
Oh yeah, people like really don't understand. Like everyone sees the wrestling ring and see it flex and everything. They think it's a trampoline, but it's wood, it's metal. There's a small pad, and the ropes aren't just like elastic ropes. It's a metal cable. So it's like when you go and hit the ropes hard, I mean, you're cracking your back.
Yeah.
It hurts. But yeah, you got to calcize your muscles and get your body used to doing the stuff. And yeah, like you said, like my main concern isn't the money or anything right now. It's seriously just the reps. Like I've never got into this for the fame and all that stuff, which I mean, it comes along with it. So that's amazing. But I just truly love wrestling, and like the more reps, the better. And like I said, I've only been doing this for a settled amount of time, and I just want to be able to get better at this. So,
all right, we got a question from Greg Thundercat Winters. He's like, "What's your finishing move, and what do you call it?"
I actually been toying around with a few things, but I've actually been doing a tilt-a-whirl into the end of days. I sent you guys a clip of that.
I saw it.
I did see that.
Yeah. I've been doing that the past few matches. It's tough because a lot of the bigger guys can't really take it, so I'll usually just like push them back and then hit them with the regular end of days, or I'll catch them in a cross body and turn it into that. But yeah, the tilt-a-whirl end of days right now is what I'm rocking with. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. But like, you know, a lot of times I worry when guys do that and they're trying to get like if down the road you're down in WWE, they're gonna say, okay, so you do Baron Corbin's move.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be wanting you to change that, I'm thinking, because you know how it is in the locker room. Don't do anybody else's finish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
And God help you if you do it as like a transition spot or it's not killing somebody, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll change. My wrestling will evolve like as I go and stuff like that. But like, so like physically, I could do a lot, and like I'm just kind of seeing what sticks and everything like that. So right now it's great, but I know that later down the road, WWE, I know that it'll be changed or whatever. But right now, I mean, I can't even think of a move that hasn't been done. So it's like
I know, right? Exactly.
And sometimes it's not about doing something crazy new. Sometimes it's about your spin on what people have seen before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So my son, that's my son there. He says, is there a move, drop kick, super kick, clothesline that you believe you've perfected?
Another Baron Corbin move. I do the deep six too, and I do it.
I've seen that too.
I do it a different way than him because I like lay out
Yeah,
with it.
Yeah. You spin around faster too.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing that since my first match ever, and
it looks awesome.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I do that in every match, so that's probably the one move that I'm like I could do that to anyone. So like, yeah, it's perfected at this point.
Shango chimes in again with most important thing you've learned.
Most important thing I've learned, probably to take every rep you could get. You're not bigger than any booking. I've tried to be respectful to like a lot of people and everything like that. It's been hard getting booked and all that stuff, but right now I'm in the stage where I'm like just trying to get everything under my belt that I possibly could get. So like I've learned that it helps a lot, no matter how small the company or big the company. Every rep counts, and yeah, I've been just trying to learn everything possible. So when the opportunity arises, I'm ready. So
I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
JT Funk says, how did you meet JT Funk?
I met JT Funk at WWE when we were doing extra work for Money in the Bank. And yeah, we spent 3 days together. We did Money in the Bank. We did Raw, did SmackDown. And yeah, he's a larger than life guy. He came right up to me when I first met him and everything like that. Hugs and the whole 9 yards, all that stuff. He's a great guy, really talkative, and he's a smart dude.
When we went to go see him live, I bought his picture at the table, and I had him sign it. No,
that story's better. You had TJ go have
I had TJ sign it
because you were afraid to go
sign it. JT Funk signed it. TJ gave it to him.
Yeah.
But after the show was over, they let us hang out and meet with him, man. And I talked to the guy for like 15, 20 minutes. Great guy. Unbelievable.
He's one of those dudes that just comes up to you and you're his best friend. Exactly. He meets you for the first time, and it's like you're his best friend, his long lost best friend.
Exactly.
All smiles, killer smiles. Yeah, and then you know what else? He is so humble. Like he's not like he doesn't have an ego. Like he knows he's good, but he doesn't have the giant ego about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like he's down to earth. He's still learning. He knows he's mature among his years too, because he knows he still needs work before he goes to, trying out for WWE or anything like that.
Yeah. He's a really good guy. He's one of the good guys I met on this journey so far. So yeah.
Ryan Barnes, do you miss the backyard? You know him.
Yeah, it's my best friend. Yeah.
Do you miss the backyard wrestling days?
Oh man, yeah. We used to go crazy. Like I was telling you guys, like I had the trampoline at the yard, and we were so stupid. We would go and people that would leave like tables out in front of their houses that they're just throwing out or whatever. We'd take it, put it on the side of the trampoline, and put each other through it. We would build snow piles, and I would do swanton bombs off my roof. Yeah, we would do a lot, and then like. I don't know. It's just what little kids do when they're like.
Oh, I did it. Trust me, I did it. Me, my brothers, I'm the oldest of 3 brothers, and I have plenty of cousins. Man, we had battle royals.
Yeah.
in my living room, we put all cushions and mattresses down, man, and we were nuts.
Yeah. It was hectic.
Remember that? Don't try this at home thing.
Yeah. That definitely can apply to us.
Yeah, that's
because there were kids like Nicky up in New York jumping off the trampoline on each other going to the table.
Oh, yeah.
Who 2020 was mad about.
Jackie, what's up, Jackie? Important question. What kind of hair products do you use? Asking for a friend.
Oh my God. Well, I have to use Moroccan oil and just leave-in conditioner. Like that's my hair will just just get so frizzy, and like I could get dreadlocks if I wanted to, like that. So like I have to keep my hair nice and moist and everything like that, especially when I'm wrestling. But because it dries out throughout my match. But
right.
Yeah, leave-in conditioner saves my life.
Yeah. JT Funk, what wrestlers influence your current style?
Oh man. Baron Corbin, huge.
Yes.
My trainer, Seth
see
Rollins,
it.
huge. And Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns. I think he's amazing. A lot of people don't like Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns, and I think he's the greatest performers.
I love Roman Reigns too. I wish the people did.
Yeah. I'm on that boat too. I think what happens with Roman is, and it's a complicated thing. So I mean, if I can go out on a limb a little bit, I think part of the problem is WWE has done such a great job of making the McMahons heels. And so they've kind of almost made the promotion heels where it's weird. Like if Vince gets behind somebody and it's obvious, everybody just automatically goes, "Oh, well, screw that guy. I'm going to get behind, whoever he doesn't like." And in the case of Roman, it's like, yeah, but the guy is good. The guy is obviously the total package. He has the look. He has the work. Okay, the promos aren't necessarily the strongest in the world, but like I always say there, if you're not allowed to talk for yourself and, you're really not up there, you're following what they're writing down for you, I think you're always going to get points off. I mean, that's one of the things that I have to say about your trainer did such a good job, because the knock on him when he came up was, oh, he's so good. He's such a good worker. He's got all that. Can't talk. And he worked at it and he worked at it. And he's the same deal reading those scripts, but he believes it. I was actually one of the guys that, because I heard all those knocks and I looked at him and Dean was on one side and I knew that they were making him the guy, that they loved him for the Foley stuff. And you look at Roman and it's like, it's Sika's son. He has the bloodlines. He's gigantic. He's Samoan. He checks every box Vince loves. I'm like poor Seth. I don't think it's going to happen for him. Alan will tell you, I used to say it to him all the time. Like, man, this guy is so good. I don't think it's going to happen for him. Shows what I know. Huh?
Greg Winter says, I'd like to see that highlight clip. Greg, I will forward it to you. He sent it to me. I will forward it to you after the show. So we do a segment where usually about the halfway point here. We've gotten a lot of questions coming in, and I've purposely not put them up because they're asking this question, the exact same question, which is, if you could wrestle anybody, dream match, who would that be?
My dream match would be my trainer, Seth Rollins. I think it would be
Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, man. I just always picture it at later on in my career or whatever. like a feud or anything like that. Like that would just be amazing, and it would really come full circle for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just so grateful that he is the guy that he is, like so busy and everything like that. He's literally in the prime of his career, and he's got time to open up an academy that's letting me chase my dream and the thing that I want to do. So it's like, it would be so sick to like later on in my career be able to face him in a singles match in WWE. That'd be amazing.
And I hope that happens. I hope that happens at Mania, but you know.
Yeah.
I would take it on Raw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So Keith, you have a dream match opponent for him?
You know, it's hard because usually I like to watch a couple of matches to really see everything somebody can do. In your case, I've only got clips. I think you and Seth would be really good. I mean, I think you could even get in there with Roman. We could see something because you guys match up so well size-wise. You have really similar speed. You're both deceptively quick for how big you are. Neither of you guys are sloths in there. You're impactful. You can move quick. I think that would match up really, really well.
Now, is it my turn yet?
Yeah, I think it's your turn now because I only get to pick one, right?
You know where I'm going, Keith.
I think I have a feeling.
Where I want to see Conan Lycan take on one Baron Corbin, and not King Corbin, Baron Corbin, because I miss that guy. Okay, I was on his bandwagon from day one, and these guys were like, "Oh yeah, the WWE will ruin him," and then he goes up there and he comes off as this big jerk. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about on TV, like the stories that you've heard behind the scenes or whatever, blah blah blah. And then indie guys are telling me that, oh, they've met him, and he's freaking awesome. He goes and he watches the dark matches like at ringside. And then he takes them aside and talks to them. So, I mean, that's awesome that he's doing that kind of stuff already. I hate the King Corbin gimmick. I hate it. Hate it.
To be fair, I don't think anyone other than Booker T has ever made that gimmick work. I don't know why they keep going back to it.
But the Lone Wolf,
yeah, he.
I have his T-shirt. I have the End of Days T-shirt. You know, I have his autograph from WrestleMania a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, he's a really good guy. I met all those guys or whatever, and Tom Baron Corbin he is a great guy. He lived in Albany for a little bit. That's where I'm from.
Right.
And when we were doing extra work or whatever, we were gonna work out. He's friends with my boss at the gym that I work at, and he asked me to work out with him the very next day, but I had to be at the arena, unfortunately, like early. So
that's
work out with him. But he's a great guy, super easy to talk to.
So Funk says he honestly thought you were Samoan when he met you.
I get that every single day. Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm Samoan because of my hair or whatever. I'm Italian, so.
An Italian with that hair, man. Jesus, you're beating him off with a stick, right?
Yeah.
God.
I'm just gonna offer a suggestion. If Vince asks you if you're a Samoan, you say yes. It seems
to anything, he's got it.
Yeah, you say Vince, about 1/8, 1/4.
Yeah.
Corbin versus Lycan versus Shango versus JT Funk. Book it.
Is there a promoter on here? Because I don't know if we have any promoters in the audience.
Well, Shango can send it to Rob and see what he can do. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and then he's gonna get told what Rob told you.
Right.
I don't book dream matches.
I don't book dream matches. Right. All right. Well.
Or maybe Shango's gonna get it through, and then you're gonna get all hurt and mad at Rob.
I respect that Mr. Noxious wants to put his guys over. That's important. Add me to that match. Yo, man, if you've never seen Greg Winters goes by Greg Thundercat. Keith, you remember what it was? It was Greg. It was Greg the Thundercat Cable.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Greg Thundercat Cable, and he wrestles down in Alabama. He wrestles for TWA in Tennessee.
Yeah,
and he reminds me of Daniel Bryan, but can do like 450 splashes and stuff.
Yeah, that's sick.
Like he does a lot. I'm sorry, Greg. I know. I remembered it last second. I'm sorry, Greg.
We're bad.
With a K. Greg Thundercat Cable. We had him
I
on
was
last.
up late last night. I'm sorry.
We had him
I was
on
up
last week.
late and then up early.
We had Greg on last week. Great guy. He's expecting a child right now. Congrats, brother.
Yes.
Congrats.
And he's kind of where you are. He's trying to figure out what that next platform is and where that next platform is.
Yep. He's right where you're at, man. Right where you're at.
For
Because
sure.
I mean, it is. It's tough, and I'm sure you were told that when you started training, where a lot of the old school trainers will do that with people. Anybody worth their salt, I think, should be honest with somebody and do that and say, I'll take your money if you want to do this, but understand it's so hard to really break through and get to that level. Like I think a statistic I heard once is like the amount of guys that are wrestling out there at any given time versus the amount of guys that are wrestling like WWE or some other top company. It's like 10%. 10% of the guys that are just out there being, road warriors and travelers and whatnot out there, 10% of them make it to the big show. So, I mean, you got to do it as a labor of love. You have to. Because if you don't, I don't know how you can keep hurting yourself out there. Because, everything hurts. You're hurting yourself all the time. It's just to what degree are you hurting yourself?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a physical thing. And, like, that's why I get – when people say it's fake all the time, I'm just like, oh, my God, let me slam
I hate that word. I hate when we're talking wrestling, I don't want to hear that word. All right? Scripted, you can say. But don't say fake, because these guys put their bodies on the line for my entertainment. I respect it. I love it.
I say all the time, I'm like, let me slam you once, and then you tell me how fake that feels, because it knocks the wind out of you every time.
I got to get some things out of the way here. Coming up at 8 o'clock after we're done here is Ciphered Knowledge with Chrissy. And on Wednesday at noon is Spittin' with Spitter. I am sporting his T-shirt here. Hit TJ up if you want a Spittin' with Spitter T-shirt. Also, on a program note, Keith and I will be back. If you see that little ticker down there on the bottom and you want to be a guest panelist on Around the Turnbuckle here, we're going to talk some wrestling. Maybe I'll try to piss Keith off and we'll talk about tonight's pay-per-view, because I know he's not going to watch it. So we'll talk about Clash of Champions coming up tonight. Hey, Nick, you going to watch Clash of Champions?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
So you're a fan. Above and beyond doesn't matter. You're a fan.
Yeah. I love the product. I mean, people say what they want or whatever, but I mean, wrestling's wrestling. I look at matches differently now. I don't look at it as like a fan perspective. I look at it what I could learn from the match.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see a variety of like different matches from all companies and all that stuff. But yeah,
I agree. I think that's the best way to be, is find out, see how it's done, see what you can take from it. It can only make you better. I agree 100% with that. I'm glad to hear you say that.
All right, so you grew up in New York. You live in Iowa. You were a football player. Who's your NFL team?
Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
I've been a Baltimore Ravens fan my whole life.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So is my colleague right there. Ravens fans in the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who they got this week, Keith?
Kansas City, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Is that tonight's game or
No,
Monday?
Monday night, yeah.
Monday Night Football, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, so are you watching Monday Night Football or are you watching the Raw?
I gotta flip back and forth, but I gotta see my boy Lamar Jackson run all over them.
Trick question, man.
Well, yeah, we're out of market. We get maybe 3-4 games we can actually watch on TV, unless we get like the package or something.
Right.
Which I'm poor. I ain't getting that, but I'll just have to suffer with my 3 or 4 games a year. Hope they make the playoffs.
When they're on national TV.
Yeah. It's bad.
Oh man. So down at the bottom of the screen there is our Facebook, our YouTube, our IG. Hit us up with show ideas. Hit us up if you want to be a guest. If you're a professional wrestler and you want to be on this show and you want to get yourself out there, hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. That's the easiest way to do it. You could also, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you could also email us at aroundtheturnbuckle@gmail.com. So I usually ask the question to all our guests where you see yourself in a year, but pre-show we kind of talked about that question. That's not a question that you really like to answer. So,
No, I'll answer it.
oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'll answer it. I don't know. I just find it that like a lot of people in the indies, like they don't really like when you say like where you think you're going or whatever like that. And I'm not trying to big league anyone or whatever. I'm just banking on myself. But I think within the year I'll probably be one of the biggest names on all the indies in the country. All the GCWs, Black Label, Beyond, all those shows. Like that's my plan for the next year. If COVID clears up, without a doubt in my mind, if you give me 1 year, a lot of people are gonna know who I am. And that's a fact.
I wish you nothing, brother. I wish you nothing but the best, brother. And if anything we can ever do, share your stuff, send it to us. We'll share it all the time. You know what I mean? Whatever.
I hope we're part of doing that for you. That hopefully this is part of the first steps.
Yeah, I hope that like we're the first that we got lucky that we're the first of like 20 podcasts that you have. So you have a whole bunch of clips you can slice and dice and say, okay, look where I was on this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I asked you where you want to be in 1 year.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself either the NXT champion in the WWE, definitely signed and have been signed for a while at this point. I'm either NXT champion or I'm climbing up the ladder on the main roster and chasing that dream match.
And I hope by then we're back in the arenas.
Yeah.
And you have a program with Seth where we can come catch it in Madison Square Garden or Philly. I mean, you know, anywhere where we're within driving distance, man. Because I would love that the most. Oh,
for sure, man. That's the plan. I'll definitely hook you guys up.
Ringside tickets, brother. No. So good luck, brother. Greg says.
Appreciate
and good luck to you, Thundercat, because you're doing it, man. You're working.
Yep.
Thundercat was just in a match, I believe, last night. I believe, right, Keith? I think he was.
Yeah, I think he did tell us that last week. He had a show last night.
Yeah, for TWA.
He was defending his title.
He's the TWA champion. Hey, Thundercat, did you successfully defend that title?
Yeah, you were telling us you were gonna.
Because we weren't there. We weren't there live, brother.
No, that was a bit of a hike.
He'll tell us. Yeah, Tennessee's a bit of a hike for us, man. So when do you go back? You're in New York right now. When do you go back to Iowa?
I go back to Iowa on the 5th, and then me and some of the boys, we're going to go down to Indy because they're doing the collective with all the companies. They're going to be running outdoor shows for 3 days straight, and I'm just going to really go there and see what happens. But, yeah, man, just every time I'm in Iowa, like the main goal is just to be at every single show possible and try to get on every single show possible.
Yeah.
So the Midwest is insane. Like it's legit so much wrestling, and you're fairly in the middle of everything in Iowa. So you could drive. I mean, it's long drives, but if you're in the car with the right people, then it goes quick. And we're all like-minded at Black and Brave Academy. So, it's cool being in the car with all these dudes and just like trying to get it done and grinding and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So do you know a bit about the history of Iowa? Did Seth teach you a lot about the history of Iowa wrestling?
Not really. More so Chicago and stuff like AAW and all the guys that went through Chicago and all that stuff. But
because Keith, you know a bit about that, don't you?
I mean, I know a little bit. Obviously, that's where the NWA was founded. Really the Midwest in a lot of ways kind of was, I want to say, civilizing wrestling, because like you said, the Midwest is hot now, and the Midwest has always been hot. It's always been hot to go down there. And the NWA was originally oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
They held him to October 3rd.
Yeah.
That means he's still the champ, but keep going.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea of the NWA originally was a collective of regional promoters getting together and saying, look, instead of having 5 world champions and watering everything down and everybody kind of cutting each other's throats and doing whatever, not that happens now, you know, let's all just get together and let's kind of agree to one world champion, agree to some rules, try to, make the business better. And it grew from there. So when you think about it that way, I mean, you cannot tell the story of professional wrestling without telling the story of professional wrestling in Iowa. Because almost everything we think of that's wrestling, was formalized from that decision. It's crazy. And that's why I always say to people, I recommend, read the history of wrestling. It's fascinating. Just for fun, read it. There's a great book by Tim Hornbaker. I have it on my shelf here. Let me read the title off for everyone. National Wrestling Alliance, the story of the monopoly that strangled pro wrestling. And it goes from the roots right up to, when did he write it? 2002, 2005. So obviously it's a little out of date now because that was way before, Billy Corgan bought the NWA and is trying to get it going that way. But I mean, yeah, it's like we always say, there's wrestling out there if you want it. If you love the WWE
We're
product,
discovering that.
yeah, and you're just a junkie that wants more, look around locally. Look
Or your
around. Support your local indies because you know what? That's where the stars of tomorrow are coming from. It's guys like Nick here that are saying, I'm chasing a dream. I'll do any show that I can do. I'll get trans or not get trans. I don't care. I just want to get the rep. I just want to get the experience. And these are the guys that are going to be on your television.
Oh yeah.
A year from now, 5 years from now, whatever it takes. They're the ones that are going to be in it for the long haul. And those are the guys that we want to support.
So Conan Lycan.
Yeah.
You are a fan of horror films, I hear.
Yes. Yeah, big time horror films guy.
What is your favorite, or maybe give us a top 3?
Top 3
horror films.
The new Halloween with Michael Myers was real good.
The Rob Zombie one?
The one that just came out maybe a couple years ago.
The Blumhouse one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes.
That was great. I was iffy about it because they always like screw some of these up, but it was great. I like Strangers, Pray at Night, the second Strangers, not the first one. And I like all the Purge movies too. I don't know. I like a lot of scary movies, so it's hard to really pick. But it's spooky season's coming up, so I'll be watching a ton.
Yep, that's what I do too. It turns to October, and I'm like, scary movies, scary video games, scary. I immerse myself in Halloween for at least 30 days.
Oh yeah, have to.
You have to do it. Do you watch any of the older things? Like, do you go back to the Universal stuff? Do you watch like the old slasher movies from the 80s? Because you kind of just missed that at your age there.
Yeah, it's a little bit too old for me. I mean, like when I was growing up, like when I was a little kid, my older siblings, like they would sit down and watch movies. I'm like way younger because I'm the baby of the family, and like they would watch like Hills Have Eyes and like Wrong Turn and all those. So like those are like really the scary movies that I started off with. So like I haven't really ventured back.
All right, listen, I got a guy, if you don't know about him on YouTube, that he's a big time YouTuber about horror films that you need to check out if you haven't already. And his name is James A. Janice.
Okay.
And he does a YouTube show called Dead Meat.
Yep.
And it's where he counts the kills in all your favorite horror films.
That's cool.
It's sick. It's
awesome.
awesome.
I'm gonna have to check him out for
sure.
Dude,
check him out. I swear to God, look up Dead Meat, look up the kill counts, and you can go through all his videos. He's been doing it for 3 years. He does a new show like every Friday, but because of COVID, he's been kind of doubling up and doing like random ones. So like you never know when he puts up a new one. I subscribed to him instantly when I first found out about him because he's awesome. And I mean, if you don't want to sit there and waste time seeing some of those lower like B-rated or like ridiculously funny horror films, he'll go through it for you. So you can watch one of those films in 20 minutes instead of 2 hours.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Oh yeah, Dead Meat, the kill count, hosted by James A. Janice. But so you said Halloween. What's your other 2?
So I'd say Strangers 2, the Pray at Night one.
Okay.
And then One of the purges. I'm not sure which one it is, but it definitely wasn't the first one where they were in the house. I like the purge one. Maybe it's the election year one where they had to run through the city, and the dude like wanted to go and kill the guy because he like ran his son over when he was drunk or something like that. Like, I like the purge movies. They're cool. But yeah.
Yeah, I think everything after the first purge was pretty good. The first one, I see what they were trying for. They really didn't hit it. They didn't mix the politics and the horror as well as they were trying to do. It was a noble effort, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly old school. You know, I grew up on Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, and all that stuff. My friend's kids they went to the shore a little while ago and they bought me a shirt where it's all the like known killers: Ghostface, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Leatherface, all that. And they're in the Mystery Machine and there's like blood on it because presumably they killed the Scooby Gang. And they're like, I'm just like, this is now my favoriteest shirt ever.
I got to work with the dude that played Hellraiser, Doug
Bradley. Really?
Wow, really?
I love Hellraiser.
Yeah, when I did, I wrestled for Blackcraft Wrestling Mania Week, last year or whatever, and he was the preacher for the show or whatever, and I got to like work with him. He was a cool, nice guy, but it was crazy because I'm like, this guy's a legend.
Yeah.
All right, so Keith, you got a top 3 horror films?
It's hard because I mean I watch so much and there's so much good stuff out there.
When I do mine, I always show my age.
See, I won't because I go to stuff that is I would say 2 of them are way back. I would go with the first Nightmare on Elm Street #1.
There you go.
I can watch that all day. And you always find something new in that movie. Yep. I just watched it the other week with a 9-year-old. Well, not the other week, but a little while ago because she was begging me to see it. And like, okay, you're old enough, and I was not allowed to leave the room.
Old enough for Freddy Krueger?
Huh?
You think 9-year-olds are old enough for Freddy Krueger?
That was about my age, and you know she's smart and mature for her age, and then it scared the crap out of her, and she didn't want to watch anything else after that. And I was not allowed to leave the room. Like if I had to leave the room for something, I had to pause it.
I won't bore Nick with my list, but I will give him my all-time favorite.
Let's hear it.
My all-time favorite horror film is The Exorcist. I can watch 1973. I can watch The Exorcist over and over and over again, and just like Beetlejuice, it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. So, The Exorcist is mine, definitely.
Have you ever seen Exorcist 3?
Yes, I have.
That's really underrated.
With George C. Scott.
Yep, that's really underrated.
I like it. No, I like it. I think that should have been Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
Because Exorcist 2 Exorcist 2 is pure trash.
Oh, I forgot The Conjuring. The Conjuring was good.
Yes.
Yeah, The Conjuring was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I like The Conjuring.
I like that whole series, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that and the Insidious movies were great too.
Yeah, I prefer paranormal over, paranormal ghosts and possessions and stuff over slashers, but I mean that's just me.
Part of that is because slashers really went down the toilet, once they realized they could make money with it. I mean, the original Halloween, I still watch that every year on Halloween. I'm like, I have to watch that. That's my thing. And quote the screen when Donald Pleasance is going nuts with everything. I have to quote the lines and stuff. The evil is gone from here. He's gone.
All right, man. We're winding up that hour. I'm going to ask you one last question. And my question is, what is the match you are most looking forward to tonight on Clash of Champions?
Roman versus Jey Uso. I'm interested to see where they're going with this, even though everyone thinks that they already know how it's going to turn out. I think they'll have a great match together. So
it does almost make you wonder, like, are they doing it on purpose just to screw with our heads, thinking like, well, yeah, Roman's going to run him over. He's a tag guy. And if they won't have some little surprise in there.
I think they'll have, I don't know why. I think Jimmy Uso is going to show up and turn on his brother, and then they're gonna feud or something.
Really?
That's my thoughts on it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see where they're going, because I would like to see like one of the Usos do like a singles run and try to get like a mid card title or something like that. Even if Jey Uso won the Universal title, I'd be like, oh my god. But
yeah, I like you said, I think there's going to be some kind of chicanery involved, where Roman makes his cousin look really, really good as he can, but then, like you said, his brother's going to get involved somehow. I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah. I don't know if I'm excited that I'm going to see that match, but like I said, I've been really getting more into the indie stuff, more getting to know you guys, getting out there, realizing how much wrestling is really out there to be had, Oh, yeah. And if you're watching this show, find out where your local guys, here in PA, they wrestle in Downingtown, they wrestle in Marysville, they wrestle in Quakertown, they wrestle in Philly, they wrestle all over the state, man. Pennsylvania is a big state. Over in Jersey. Down along the shore, man, all over the place. It's easy to find, and it's all within 2 hours drive. It's not hard to find your next event.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I'll add this to that. I didn't realize how short of a drive it is when you're in the Northeast to get to shows. There's not a lot of shows, but they are when they're having them fairly close, because in the Midwest there's a lot of wrestling, but you're getting in the car for at least 5 hours one way every time you're going to a show, unless you're going to Chicago. But yeah,
it's a lot more. It's a lot more spread out. I'm gonna put this last comment up here reluctantly, because I'm in the house here with 2 Baltimore Ravens fans, and I didn't tell you that I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm getting triggered right now. 0-2-1. Well, it's not a loss.
Yeah, beat up on Joe Burrow today, though.
Yeah, he got sacked 8 times.
Yeah,
that kid's going to be good, though.
Yeah, I'll take it though, because he's in our division and we need him to not be on his best game. So,
well, in a couple of years, that Burrow versus Jackson thing is going to be a thing.
Possibly, we'll see.
I guarantee it. If they build it right, I mean, the Bengals have been mismanaged for years.
Yeah.
They need to get talent around them, offensive line and defense. I mean, who they got? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel bad for those guys, and the Browns. I feel like they have no hope. Like none.
Yeah,
I don't fear the Browns. I don't. Odell Beckham Jr. is unhappy, and when he's unhappy, the whole locker room's unhappy. He's a cancer. He's
overrated as a wide receiver. Just
True.
Between the catch and just the fame, because he dances and stuff like that, he's a pretty average wide receiver, I'd say. But,
facts. For real. Definitely.
Well, charisma over talent. I mean, we've seen it in football, we've seen it in wrestling, we've seen it everywhere.
My wife.
Yeah,
my wife is a Jets fan. That's all I got to say about that. Okay.
Yeah. My family's Jets fans. So
I was going to ask you that. I was like, where'd the Ravens thing come in? Because you're from New York. So
my uncle collects like NFL memorabilia, and he's a huge Dolphins fan, but he gets like a ton of like random things in like auctions and stuff. When I was a little kid, he gave me the Ray Lewis signed Super Bowl hat when they won in like 2000. So I have that just chilling like right here on my wall. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, I saw like purple's my favorite like thing too, and like I remember just seeing like a Raven, and I was just like, oh, that's great. So like I've always been a Ravens fan, and Ray Lewis, I played linebacker, so like Ray Lewis was huge for me, and I'm a University of Miami fan too, so like him, Ed Reed, all the guys from the U that went through Baltimore, like it was just perfect for me. So yeah, and
all right, so if people want to reach out to you, or they want to follow your stuff, man, I know that on Facebook they can find you under Nicky Mariano, right?
Yeah, yep. The same. My Instagram is Nicky Mariano 44.
Like, so Facebook, it's spelt just like that. Nicky Mariano on Facebook, if you guys want to follow him. And what's your Instagram?
It's Nicky Mariano 44. And yeah. Yep.
Hey Keith, I should have you type these things.
Yeah. while you're typing, before we go,
is that right?
Yeah, that's right. NICKYMARIANO 44. Yep, correct.
Okay, got it.
okay, so you weren't typing as long as I thought. Before we go
ahead. What was your question? Because we're getting out of here.
Oh, it's not a question. We had a passing this week, a big one. Road Warrior Animal is no longer with us. I mean, it's the Road Warriors. What more can you say? The top tag team of all time on anybody's list, even on the list of people that other people will say, you know, oh, well, you were the top tag team of all time. No, we weren't. The Road Warriors were. Tremendous team, iconic. Everybody knows who they were. Everybody knows what they did. And just tremendously wonderful human beings. Most people have just nothing but great stories about how giving Animal and Hawk were in the ring, even though they won more often than not. And they were generous with anybody who was generous with them. They understood selling. They understood we can only do this because of the opponents we have. So we want to wish our sincerest condolences to Road Warrior Animal's family, to his friends, to his fans, everybody. We join you in your grief.
Yo, Nick, you're a young dude. How much of Road Warriors have you ever seen? Any on the network at all?
Oh yeah, when I was growing up, they were still like around at that time, and I remember like me and my friends actually, because like since we played football and my best friend's dad was the coach. We had our shoulder pads and they put like the spikes on them and we trick or treated with like those on. So yeah, I've seen them for sure for quite a bit of time. But yeah.
We usually when we're gonna have a show, usually I have something set up for when a wrestler passes. We did it for Kamala recently and Bullet Barb Armstrong. We definitely, our condolences to the Laurinaitis family for losing Road Warrior Animal at age 60 years old, far too young. So thanks for reminding me about that, Keith. So man, you got any parting gifts, Keith, for my man?
Yeah, let's try not to end it on a downer, right?
Yeah, I want to get off on a high note. Look this guy up. Book him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I love talking to guys like you that are passionate about this, because that inspires me as a fan, and it inspires me just in life to talk to people that are passionate about what they do and that just want to get better and want to keep going. Because that just rubs off on me, I feel like, and it makes me want to get better at anything I'm doing and give it 100%. So I mean, that's great to be out there and putting that out there in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I just want to echo what Keith just said, man. You just keep plugging away, and I'm pretty sure that all your goals and all your dreams will come true. And I cannot wait, and I'm going to make this bold prediction. I cannot wait to see you versus Seth Rollins, whether it be on Raw or wherever. I don't care where it is. That match is going to happen. Match will happen. And we're going to be like these schmoes that we had you on a podcast once.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys for having me. This is great. Thank you so much. But yeah.
All right, man. Program note one last time. 8:00 tonight. Check out Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy right here on Facebook Live and our YouTube channel, which is, I have that one ready too, but I can't find it.
We have a bonus show tomorrow. We were talking about that yesterday. No, we don't.
No.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later about that.
All right. Never mind.
Our new YouTube channel is 2M1L Media. You can find Spittin' with Spitter on there. You can find Cipher Knowledge on there, and you can find our old episodes of Around the Turnbuckle and our older episodes of Around the Turnbuckle before we joined 2ML Media is on Around the Turnbuckle YouTube channel. One last comment. One last comment.
In advance for some of the quality of those older episodes.
Good night, y'all. Chrissy, we're going to see you at 8:00 on your show. Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy. Nick, stick around just 1 minute. I'm going to see you guys next time on Around the Turnbuckle. I have been the Big Alboski. He has been Keith. This is Conan Lycan. And we'll see you all next time on Around the Turnbuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, yeah! Woo! What? What? If you smell what the rock...
You got the wrong guy.